Hey, Paul, I got an answer from Alex on this too, but I want to hear what you thought about this. Who are some of the guys in practice you've seen that are going to take a big step up this year that we in the media maybe aren't talking about as much or aren't thinking about?
I think a lot of guys are going to be filling in roles that they weren't in last year and making a difference that people wouldn't have expected. I think guys like Tyler Gratt and Connor McMenamin, some of our new freshmen that maybe not been mentioned. I think they're going to step up and, make big differences that maybe people overlooked last year or didn't really see them as an important role, which they were, but in a different way. But they're going to be filling in roles of guys such as Evan Barrett, Brandon Byro, etc.
Dan Kelly?
You think it'd be strange, Paul, the adjustment playing, not playing in front of fans, or that you guys will quickly acclimate to that?
It's going to bring us back to our youth days. Obviously getting out there and not seeing fans is going to be a little bit different, but unfortunately, it's not like football where, you're missing 110,000 people. We're missing 5,000-6,000 people. So I think it will be a difference, but I don't think it's going to affect us as much as people will say it will.
Zach Lambert?
Hey, Paul, how have you learned from Alex this year, and how has he led the team?
He's awesome. He's just a genuine guy. It just goes a long way. He's there for everybody. He's opening up to everyone and, hearing them out, and he's not, looking at someone different than others. He's very respectful, and I think he's going to be a great leader for the rest of the year.
Ben Jones?
Hey, Paul, I was wondering, how do you guys work on the communication aspect on the back end? Since you don't have as much time together on the ice, stuff like that, how do you kind of get to game one and still feel like everyone's on the same page?
I think, in the last couple of weeks we're finally out there together. That's in the beginning it was kind of hard. It's more skill development. Now we're focusing on team play now. So, last couple of weeks we've been able to, learn guys we're potentially going to be playing with and stuff. So, now it's, trying to understand, get a relationship with them, and then whatever works for you guys the best.
Fred?
Hey, Paul, one-on-one drills, those small area games. I know you got a lot of freshmen coming in. Anybody wowed you with their puck skills, one-on-one individual skills?
I think, a guy like, Chase McLean, Tyler Beckett, Sarlo, they're standing. Not that they're, but those guys I can name where they're strong guys, they're mature guys, they look good out there, but I can say that for the whole class. Those are just three names that came to mind right now. I really do think that the whole class is strong, and each guy individually is going to contribute something else. But I really do think we brought in a great class.
Greg Cameron?
Personal one for you here, Paul. What is one skill or hobby that you picked up or maybe dusted off during the extended off season?
Definitely golf. Before I didn't golf too much, and now I can say I'm a below average golfer instead of terrible.
Dan Kelly?
Paul, do you think in these early weeks, 2020 has been so weird for everybody, especially you guys, just with the differences. Do you think we're going to see more mistakes and higher scores because of the rust and the inactivity a bit from players?
I definitely think, there will be some rust to get off in the first couple of games. Maybe not. It's going to take a couple of games, maybe just the first period. But I don't know if score will be affected by that. But I do think there could be a chance, especially, it's almost at the beginning of every season. The biggest thing right now is we didn't have, and no one had preseason games. So we didn't, we're just hopping into our conference play. So I could see it happening. I could also see it not happening because people are really understanding that they don't have that time to, here's a couple of games we have to get ready. That's not a case anymore. So, it's going to be really interesting to see next weekend, but, I think we're going to come as prepared as we can be.
Zach Lambert?
What was your reaction when you saw where you guys were ranked in the coaches poll as compared to where you guys are ranked nationally?
Coach Gaidigowski tells us all the time, don't listen to that stuff, and we don't. But if you want to ask me, I think it's humbling to see that, we're in that position right now, because I think that makes every other guy in the locker room, every single one, make us want to prove people wrong now, which is, never a bad thing. That's just the preseason rank. It's not where we actually are. So, we're going to go out there and do everything we can to prove that, that people gave us the wrong opinion.
Acacia Broder.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. So obviously as a veteran defenseman, what are you and some of the other older guys trying to do to get these new younger defensemen into the program to feel acclimated and kind of go along with, I guess, Penn State's production of offensive defensemen and goals like that?
Yeah, no, it's, we're always every day just trying to, teach guys like Christian Berger and Jimmy Dowd, what it's like playing at Penn State and what it's like to be a defenseman here and a successful defenseman. We refer to Cole Holtz a lot. Like he was a great player and one of the best probably to come through here. And, it's a guy that we all still look up to. And that's a good guy that we try to get them to model off of.
Frank.
Thanks, John. Paul, two questions about the schedule. First of all, you have about 8 or 10 new faces and limited time to get to know them thus far. How important is it for you, and are you looking forward to opening on the road? And then do you have any thoughts about playing Arizona State? As they're not an affiliate member, but you'll be playing 4 games against them, and rolled into that, I guess this is 3 parts now, playing midweek games instead of on the weekend. Any thoughts along those lines, please?
Yes. So first off, I honestly think it's gonna be good that we're starting off on a road trip. Road trips are a time where it's just the guys, like we just get to bond together. So I think that's gonna be great that we are traveling like that and get to meet. We've stuff with everything going on and social distancing and everything, but I think so far we've done the best we could to get our freshmen acclimated and get to know them as players. In regards to Arizona State, I think Arizona State's a great team. I personally think they're very difficult to play against because they're very physical and it's going to be a long game plan against them. So, and I think it's great that they came in. It's never bad to have more teams to play against, different opponents. So I'm looking forward to playing against them too.
Then touch on the midweek games there too, Paul.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So that will be a just too. I would have said been more just if we had a lot of in-person classes and had to deal with that. But, most of us are on Zoom now. So I don't think that'll be a huge issue, but it's definitely, different than just playing your typical Friday, Saturday.
Fred.
Hey, Paul, gratuitous plug maybe for BTN here, but the game on the 19th or the 18th might be the first televised game since the Cup was awarded to Tampa. So are you guys aware of that, fired up about that, to play in front of your Penn State fans on TV, family, friends, but maybe for some guys, even NHL coaches, GMs, and scouts too?
Yeah, I think, obviously that's a little bit back in the mind, but that's not something to really try to focus on. For me, it's day in and out, whether there's going to be 0 people or 100,000 people watching. I still got to go do whatever I can to help our team out and make our school proud. So I think a lot of guys have that same mindset. Obviously some people in the back of their minds, but it's not something that they're going to look for. Like, oh, I got to perform for these guys. We're more in the mindset we got to perform for our team and for each other out there.
Any other questions for Paul? Greg, do you have a question? You just unmuted.
Nope, just about to thank you.
Okay. Paul, appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you hopping on with us. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no
Thank you
problem.
all.
Have a good night.